Alright, what is going on, guys? Back with another video. So today is the day after I got back from Hot Import Nights in Dallas, Texas. Yeah, so I mean, it was a pretty fun trip. It was a fun show. It's always a fun time with my homies at the car show. But unfortunately, on the way heading back to Austin, Texas, you know, I guess each and one of our cars had some problems. So Marco added like a lip on it, and this rubber lip kind of fell off. And then on Anna's S2000, her front rotor, one of the front StopTech drill and slaughter rotors, started to crack, so it was really risky, but she managed to get it home safe. And then on my car, unfortunately, shit happened as well. So let me just show you guys what happened back here. Not a rear end collision, could have been worse, but my third brake light fell off. I guess the metal bracket broke, so I went ahead and bought another third LED brake light. The good thing is the wire is still intact, so I kind of tucked it in here. So wires are still good. All I have to do is buy the new third brake light. The metal bracket it came with is just not good, so I'm probably gonna head to like Home Depot or Lowe's, get some stronger metal so that, you know, it stays on real firm and don't fall off again. Because this never happened before. It's kind of weird. And then the thing that really bugged me a lot is my front splitter's ruined. So check this out. Oh, that's rough. So I was driving back home and I heard this like something vibrating really hard. So I was like, what the heck is it? It sounded like it's from the front. So if you see right here, let me get off that tape real quick. I taped out the bottom, but if you see right here, seems like that bolt came off. So yeah, that's probably what happened. Bolt came off right here. Another bolt came off as well. So yeah, just really rough shape. It wasn't as bad as this, and this splitter is made of metal. I can't even bend it back in my own hands, but I guess it was so bad and it was vibrating the whole time like this. The good thing is that side's really firm. This side just, I guess the bolt probably came loose. That's what happened. Bolt came loose, and then I guess this thing was probably scraping on the ground and the wind was probably pushing this back. So I don't know. It's just, I'm just really upset about it because, well, number one, this front splitter set was pretty expensive. It's from Aeroflow Dynamics. I paid almost like $350 for it. So it's pretty expensive front splitter. Number two, I have a car show coming up in a few days. So there's another car show. I'll be in the Clean Car Alliance car show. I'm registered to show my car again, and of course I need my car to look good. The fourth brake light probably won't come in time, but that's okay, you know, since that is a more custom mod. But I really want the front splitter on the car because, quite honestly, without the front splitter or a lip, I think the car looks not that nice on the front end. Doesn't look as aggressive. So what I'm going to attempt to do is I'm trying to attempt to fix the front splitter. So as you can see on this side is really good, holding on real good, really firm, doesn't even shake. And if you see over here, it kind of curves like that. So this side is messed up, not that side. So what I'm trying to do is, first off, I have to take off the whole front bumper since the front splitter is attached to the front bumper. So I'm going to take that off. And then once the whole front end is off the car, I'm going to reattach these. I haven't really seen which part this is. Is it off my front bumper or the splitter? But we'll figure it out. So I'm going to reattach the bolts and nuts securely from the splitter to the bumper. And then as for all this damage right here, well, the initial plan was I'm going to try to use a heat gun as well as pliers. So I'm going to heat it up real good since this is metal, and once this is heated up, it'll be easier to bend. And then once I apply some heat, I'm going to just use my pliers to kind of bend it back. So I'm trying to get this whole surface as straight as I can. And I understand, even though it's straightened out, all these, like, it's gonna look really horrible. So what I'm gonna do is take my grinder out, cut it as close as I can to here, because this part is almost as fine. So I'm just gonna try to use my grinder and cut it right here. So I have to even that out on this side as well. So I'm gonna try to cut it from here, cut it, even it out like that. So yeah, that's my plan. Never done actual cutting of a front splitter, but hopefully that works out well. And then I understand once I cut it out, it's gonna be a little rough on the edges, so I'm trying to use some sandpaper, try to sand it down as good as I can. And then once that is done, I also ordered this. I'm not sure what you call this thing right here, but it's kind of like a little rubber, gasket. I'm not sure what you call this really, like a rubber seal. So I'll try to smoothen out the edges as best as I can with sandpaper, and then I'm gonna put this over so it kind of covers, you know, any imperfections. You can't really see it, and yeah. So that's the plan for today. I'm gonna attempt to fix my damaged front splitter. Alright, so first things first, I'm gonna get to removing the front bumper. I've done a couple of front bumper installs, so if you guys want to see a more detailed way to do it, go and check out the older videos on my front splitter install. But I'm gonna take off basically all these plastic clips. This piece comes off, and then there's some screws on the sides as well as on the bottom, and the whole front bumper should just come right off.
You make me high. You are my paradise. You make me high. You are my paradise. You make me high. You are my paradise. I can't deny.
As you guys can see, my front bumper is off. So like I said, whenever I attach my front splitter, I attach it to the front bumper. I didn't do the ghetto method of using self-tapping screws. I actually used the hardware provided by Aeroflow Dynamics. But the weird thing is, so on this side of the bumper, everything looks firm and attached really good. And on this side, I'm not sure too much downforce, but look at that crack right here. Let me just focus and show you guys. Seems like there's a crack over here on the front bumper itself. Same with this side. You can see this whole plastic piece came off the front bumper, which is kind of crazy. So the front splitter is fine, but it cracked through the front bumper, and that's why it was kind of loose. So what I'll try to do is reattach all these again, see what I could do, see if I could use maybe a big washer or something like that. But it seems like it's cracking on the front bumper. I guess that's just too much pressure or something like that. So let me go ahead and reattach those bolts real quick. Over here is pretty chopped up. So what I'm gonna do is heat gun, get to heating it up, use pliers and try to bend it as much as I can. All these edges was really bad at first. I already went ahead and bent it, but I'm gonna try to bend it more. The heat gun, the reason you use a heat gun or a hair dryer is because with the heat, since this is metal, it'll be able to bend easily. And then like I said, use the pliers and pull it down. I know some of y'all are afraid of having scratches on it, but for me, I'm just gonna be cutting this section off, so it doesn't really matter. But if you're afraid, what you can do is you can use your pliers and grab like a microfiber towel. So microfiber towel, pliers, put it on the surface, and you can just get to bending it down. That works as well. So for the purpose of this video, I'm not going to use this. I'm just going to use the heat gun and get to bending the metal. So now that it's heated up, you can see the edges is a little, well, it's not better, but it's more straight now. At first it was kind of all bending upwards. It's more straight now. So like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it up. So what I'm gonna do is use some painter's tape as well as some markers, and I'm gonna go ahead and tape exactly where I want to cut so I can mock it up. So my plan is, let me show you the good side. So on this good side right here, if you notice, I really like this band over here, but unfortunately that's where the damage is on that side. So what I'm gonna do is over here, I'm gonna form a line to here, this edge. So I'm gonna chop off this section right here. So it's gonna be the same for here. Chop it off from here all the way there. So I'm gonna use the tape, make sure it's a straight line, draw a line, and then get the cutting it down with my grinder. Sometime I went ahead and taped up both sides, draw lines, make measurements with a ruler. Gonna make sure it's really accurate because once I'm cut, there's no going back. So let me just show you guys. On this side, draw the line here. On this side, drew the line here as well. So you might be wondering why I put these markers here. So basically, this will be the edge where my I'm gonna cut in two. So I just want to make sure that the gap here is the same as the gap over here. So from far where both markers are aligned, yeah, they look pretty even. So the scary part is cutting. I'm gonna get cutting pretty soon. I'm gonna be using an angle grinder to cut it down. And as always, when you're cutting stuff, use eye protection. Once I'm done cutting it, I'll try to cut it as smooth as I can, but I'm also probably gonna have to use some sandpaper to sand it down. You know, wet sand it just so the edges are a little smoother. Alright, so I'm gonna get the cutting, hooked up my angle grinder. I'm gonna follow the line here and cut it down. Wish me luck. You can see this big chunk just fell off, and not too bad, pretty straight. Right now, as you can see, there's pretty rough edges. So I'm gonna go ahead and make sure to smoothen it out, and then once it's smooth, with the grinder as much as I can, I'm gonna go ahead and use some sandpaper. So the rougher the sandpaper, the better. But I think I have like a 400 grit or 600 grit sandpaper, so I'll probably use that. My 400 grit sandpaper and some water in the bucket. I'm gonna go ahead and get to wet sanding it down. So we have one side down, one more side to go. So as you can see, the front splitter behind me is pretty much done. It's really dirty right now, so what I have to do is I'm just gonna put it aside, spray it down real quick, wash it because it's super dusty. And also just got this in the mail, so shout out to Amazon Prime, but you guys will see what this is later. So it's kind of like a rubber trim that you put on the edge. I have been always doing that just because it protects it as well as cover up, you know, the edges so that it doesn't look as rough. So let me get the spraying down and then we'll install this rubber trim. Went ahead and sprayed down the front splitter. It's not entirely clean yet since I'm going to do a car wash anyway, but this is what the rubber trim looks like. So let me just show you guys up close. This is the rubber trim. So you can get it all black. The one I got has a little I guess more rugged design, kind of like that better. And what it does is this little slit right here just goes in the front splitter and protects the edges. So I'm just gonna line it and then go ahead and cut it up. So I kind of fixed it, put on that rubber lining, so it looks way better right now. You can't really tell. Well, the shape of the splitter looks different right now, kind of goes like that, but all in all, you can't really tell there's a, you know, a splitter that was busted before. So that's the whole objective. I'm trying not to spend money to buy another front splitter again because, like I said, it's pretty pricey for this one. I paid $350. So this is going to be a fix for now, and in the future, probably maybe by next year car show season, I do want a different setup, so I'll save up for a different front bumper. But for now, this will work, especially since I have another car show coming up this weekend. Alright, so as you guys can see, I already cut the edges, looking pretty good with that rubber trim. I'm going to go ahead and slap on the front bumper real quick and show you guys the finished product. So just pull back my front bumper and pretty much this concludes it. Let me show you guys a close-up, but whatever I did over here, I cut the edges. It looks way smoother right now, so let's go ahead and show you guys close-up. So you guys can see there's a close-up. Just cut a straight line and it goes right there. So pretty clean cut. All in all, I think it did the job of fixing the front splitter. Like I said, I didn't want to buy a new one, so for now I think it looks pretty good. Pretty good job, especially since I did this at home myself. You know, I didn't go to a body shop to get it done or anything. So leave a thumbs up if you like it, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.